On Tuesday, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth appeared before a House Appropriations Subcommittee and dropped a political bombshell. Military aid to Ukraine will be reduced in the proposed 2026 defense budget.
The budget reflects the reality that Europe needs to step up more for the defense of its own continent. Are going to commit to a 3.5, 1.5 to total of 5% defense spending, which was inconceivable before President Trump. And he has set the standard that America can't be everywhere all the time for everybody. And if you're a European country, you cannot freeload off of the United States in perpetuity. You are our allies and our friends, and we will stand with you, but you need to stand up in times of peace and in times of war. And this budget reflects that it's long overdue Europe does more, and that we be strategic about the outcome there, even if it's not preferable for all parties, so that our focus can turn, as was mentioned by everybody thus far, to the Indo-Pacific and our pacing threat, while Europe ensures peace on that continent.
This marks a sharp pivot in Washington's approach to a war that has dominated global headlines since February 2022. With more than $66 billion already committed to Ukraine, the shift signals what Hegseth calls a strategic reorientation. He emphasized diplomacy over endless arms shipments and urged NATO allies to take the lead in defending Europe. The announcement lands at a critical moment. Ukraine is under intense aerial assault by Russian missiles and drones, especially in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. Ukrainian cities are calling for more Patriot air defense systems. Systems the U.S. has now redirected in part to operations in the Middle East. The Pentagon, under Trump-era leadership, is clearly reassessing. Hegseth didn't reveal specific dollar cuts, but noted that some U.S. weapon systems are proving ineffective or outdated on modern battlefields. This suggests the changes aren't just about Ukraine. They reflect a deeper reevaluation of U.S. military posture worldwide. At the heart of this decision lies a growing consensus inside Washington. America cannot remain locked into a prolonged, resource-draining conflict in Eastern Europe, while global instability rises in the Indo-Pacific and the Middle East. China's expanding economic and military reach, Iran's activities in the Gulf, and the Red Sea's naval flashpoints are stretching U.S. defense strategy thin. With fiscal pressures mounting at home, the administration appears ready to pivot, from perpetual war support to pushing European allies into the driver's seat. That's a stark contrast from the Biden-era doctrine, where the U.S. led in arms provision, training, and logistics. Trump's Pentagon wants NATO to step up, politically, militarily, and financially. Meanwhile, Ukrainian officials remain largely silent on the proposed aid cuts, but analysts warn a decline in U.S. support could critically weaken Ukraine's front lines. Patriot missiles, advanced drones, and air defense systems are already in short supply. The reallocation of 20,000 anti-drone missiles, once bound for Kyiv, now redirected to U.S. units in the Middle East, underscores the shift. It's not just about budgets, it's about where the U.S. sees its core interests today. At home, the change reflects broader budgetary recalibrations. The Social Security Fairness Act passed earlier this year, increasing domestic spending and possibly pulling funds from international commitments. There's a clear trend: tighten spending abroad, invest more at home. Yet, the White House insists it's not abandoning Ukraine. President Trump has repeatedly stated his commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty. Instead, the message is this: America seeks a negotiated end to the war, and it's time for Europe to carry more weight. This policy shift will undoubtedly fuel debates in Congress, where bipartisan support for Ukraine is already showing signs of strain. For Ukraine, the coming months will be critical. If Europe doesn't fill the gap left by the US, Kyiv could face severe limitations on its ability to defend itself. And for the world, the question looms large. Is this the beginning of a broader US withdrawal from frontline conflicts in favor of global repositioning and diplomacy? One thing is certain: the era of unlimited American military aid to Ukraine is coming to a close.